like to call the Planning Commission meeting to order. Most members are in attendance. We do have one absent today. And Charlene, our sort of secretary of the commission, is not in, but I'm sure Mr. Paskey and Mr. Logan are going to take some wonderful minutes. So
actually, I think she'll get the recording.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, sorry, John. I know you were looking for that opportunity. All right. I do need to administer an oath if anyone plans to speak at today's commission. All we have to do is say I do. Do you promise or do you swear to tell the truth to the best of your ability to this commission?
I do.
Thank you. And when you do speak, we're going to ask that you either come to the podium or up to the table. Both of them are microphone, and that way we'll know who you are. Just state your name and the street that you live on, and is sufficient. The first order of business is the disposition of the minutes from the last meeting. They are attached to the back of your agenda.
I'll move we accept the minutes. I notice you're absent, so you can't really do much without it.
I'll keep it moving. Anyone else want a second? All right, all those in favor? Any further discussion, questions, comments?
Aye.
There's no opposition. Move on to the next item, and that is our cases. We do have two cases on the agenda. Both of them are lot splits. We'll start with number 1305. This is Frederick Aremus at 7530 Heppertsville Road lot split. I don't know if Mr. Logo or if Mr. Paskey was working on these most closely. I just defer to Mr. Paskey.
Okay. If you look at the back page of the packet you received, you'll see a large parcel on the right-hand side that was split up years ago, and then you'll see on the left-hand side the kind of L-shaped parcel that actually came off of that larger parcel and is still under the same parcel number, which, as you can see, they're hundreds of feet apart. So
Right.
The request is for that parcel now to be joined with the infill of the L, so to speak, the Stadneras, am I saying it right? Stadneras property. So this would be a lot split assigning that parcel to the existing parcel that's inside the L shape there. It does meet all of our requirements if it is joined continuous and contiguous. And the deed, the application, and the plat all show that it will be joined continuous and contiguous. So that being said, pretty simple lot split actually.
Okay, so this is, when you say lot split, it sounds like more like a combination, no? It's splitting off on the other side of the road.
Yeah, and really what probably should have happened many years ago, I mean, I can't speak to it, is that L shape should have been given its own parcel number many years ago, and it never was, and it's still legally combined with that 30-some acre parcel
across the street
on the right-hand side, across the street.
Okay,
Correct.
so if I'm reading correctly, the 4.598 acres is going to be combined with the 2.365.
That is correct.
Okay,
that is correct.
And it'll actually make it less, a flag lot.
That is correct. And by doing so, it meets the width to depth ratio, and technically it's over 5 acres by doing so, but but
Okay.
as it is, it's its own 4.589 acre parcel, so that's why we're here.
But this can be done as one transfer. It's not a split and then a combination. Is that correct, or is this really?
That's probably the way it'll be done. It's just the deed is written up on the parcel. It will be a transfer of that parcel to the existing parcel.
Offhand, how far is this from the periphery of the 30-mile limit? This looks like it's by Carter's, if I'm lumber. Is that what I'm looking at?
Yes.
In terms of the ortho? Okay.
And it is in the proposed
Southwest Sanitary Sewer District.
Okay.
And then since the continuous and contiguous language is included, Planner Paul, then the Health Department is not required based on your review. I thought that's Health Department review, if not held continuous.
I would ask the code director that, but that's my understanding, yeah.
If it was to be its own standalone lot, yes, it would have been required. But since it's being joined with the other system, other property, and it has its own septic system on it, it's all one parcel. So if anybody wanted to come in there and build anything else on it, it would have to go through Health Department review anyways. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions, comments, RJ? Paul?
I would move we accept this lot split.
No second.
Second. Any other questions? All right, all those in favor of accepting lot split as defined in case number 1305, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Unanimous decision. All right, if there's no more comments or questions on case 1305, we'll move to the next case. That is case 1302. It's Charles Richmond at 22 Mulligan Road, lot split. This case had been brought up previously, I believe as a communication, not as a case at that time, but I might be speaking incorrectly. But we have seen it before the Planning Commission, and there were some comments by commission members as well as co-director, and I remember the suggestion I most remember was not taking the lot into 3, but maybe finding a way to make it just a 2. So, John Paskey, if you could summarize where we are today.
Okay, you've got the two
Next one
parcels
is-
in front of you, plats that have been done. One of them says old, one of them says new on it. As you can see, the old one, parcel 2 and parcel 3 have basically been joined to form one parcel that will now house the existing residents. And with the proposed lines of the new parcel, what would be the new parcel 1, that it will meet bulk controls for setbacks, et cetera, on the existing residents. And the lot meets bulk controls on size, frontage, et cetera. And then the parcel 2 on the new plan, which was parcel 1 on the old one, the property line has been altered a little bit. I believe Mr. Richmond decided to do that based on where the existing pen was already at. Technically, it does not have frontage on Mulligan, but it does have frontage on the platted Oak Street. So, as it sits right now, we can look at the address situation, readdressing 22 to 24, and then giving parcel 2 a 22 address. But we still, eventually, we're going to have an addressing issue out there no matter what, if this is done, because the 2 lots to the south of this residence are for sale, and there's no number available for it as well. So, so no matter how, I guess, short of not doing anything, we're going to have an addressing issue down the road
Right.
when one of these gets developed. But my recommendation, or was speaking with Director Stone, was that we not allow Oak Street to become it'd be a non-maintained street by the city. We basically I wouldn't call it eliminated, it'd still be a platted right-of-way, but the new lot would be given a Mulligan Street address. So that we would have 20 with the existing neighbors to the left of Oak Street. If you remember, she approached us the last time, or 2 times ago we were here requesting, and her address stayed the same. And then Mr. Richmond's house is currently at 22. So lot-wise and sizes, they all meet bulk controls. The addressing issue is really our biggest issue, and the technicality of whether or not the new proposed Lot 2 has road frontage. So technically it does, but it's on a platted right-of-way.
Questions?
Probably
Question.
confused.
I know sometime last week I got a PDF of this lot split minus subdivision review from you, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when I print it out, I notice it's, your comments are dated 4/24. The plan is dated 4/26, and I've got a commentary from the engineer and public works one. The one I'm looking at in the packet is not the same, identical. I know I'm being a stickler here, but I'm looking at one that's different than the other one.
I have to ask Mayor what I sent you.
Okay, here, take a look at this one
I,
right
there
here.
does this, but yeah, let me see which one it was that you're reading.
This is what I think you sent me 2 days ago, right?
Yeah, and that's what I got with the package.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
426, and the same date.
Okay, but, okay, why am I looking at this one over here?
Is it the old one? Maybe?
That's the old one, Sharp.
That's the old one.
Okay.
Sharp printed the old one.
Yes.
So
No, wait a
you,
minute, that's,
No, it's dated though, the same date.
that's the wrong property, this one here.
oh, okay. Ah,
That's the one we just did.
That makes more sense.
okay, sorry. I'm confused then. Okay. Oh, I see,
That's the
right there.
problem.
Okay,
There
sorry.
you go.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I have to ask this to find out that I don't have it right. Okay, thanks for correcting that. Okay, so the Public Works Director says Oak Street right-of-way is currently unmaintained and will not be maintained after this split occurs. That's his statement, right there?
Yes, he actually duplicated his wordage from the previous application where it says current platted Oak Street right-of-way is not currently maintained. Required improvements to access subdivided property to be borne by owner. Water and sewer are available. Sewage may require a private pump, but that would just take some research.
Okay, so if the split occurs, anybody who subsequently purchases this property and wants to develop would have to actually have a negotiation with us about opening up that street or maintaining that
They would
street.
have to, it'd be, they would maintain it. It'd be a platted right-of-way, but they would maintain it, much like we've got alleys and streets all over the city that are like that
Okay,
people pull in off of for their own driveways that the city's not maintained.
okay.
Currently, are all these parcels, you might need to come up to the table, are all these parcels are together and tied continuously and contiguously at this time? Under Charles Richmond?
At the current time,
looking at
it's
the
actually two parcels. There's still that small little triangle that's .336 acres
Right.
on the last. That will be combined into parcel 2, but that's a separate parcel in regards to the overall. Parcel 1 and parcel 2 are one parcel, but that little acreage, that little triangle,
Currently, this is all one piece, and then this
Right,
little
see?
triangle is a piece.
That are tied now?
These two are not.
They're not.
No, these
They're
are
owned
up
by
here.
Same ownership, but different parcel.
Right. And the request is to tie these two, to make one big one, and then split that, the rest of this off of this, so you'd have this lot and this lot.
This was the original proposed split right here, these two dotted lines.
Correct.
Okay.
So this wasn't real, where it shows that each
That
one of
is
these
correct. That was
parcels
his
were
proposal.
tied? Okay,
That is
okay.
correct.
That's the
okay.
one that did not fly.
So what is existing now?
What is existing now is this big piece here, which would be all of this, is one parcel, and then this little diamond shape. is
That's
another.
tied to, it's
not
never
tied,
tied,
right.
okay.
That's what.
I don't need this map, this map is not helping.
That was the old
Okay.
original request.
So then this is just Stateville.
Yeah.
So we're just talking.
That's that right away.
Right in here.
Yep.
And of course, that garage is
Is this one
in
currently
the
held
process
continuously?
of falling down or being demolished? or-
These
well,
two, they may
on
be
approval of the lot split, it will be demolished, that's correct. The roof has already been dealt with from the windstorm that,
Oh.
on
I
a
know.
previous occasion. I did that right after the meeting, so I cleaned it up as best
And this is
I could.
currently one parcel.
Okay.
And John, there was some comment about parcels to this, I thought I heard south.
That is correct. There are two, where it says lot 107 on the new proposal,
107, this one.
and lot 106,
That will need a number.
that are owned by Coolies.
These
Those
are-
are vacant, and they are currently for sale.
And they're not numbered because they were already
Right.
split off of some other lot, and there's been no mail address assigned to them.
And
But
Mr.
that's-
Richmond is 24,
Right.
and the next house
Okay.
south is 26. So if those were ever sold and developed, there's no numbers for
Mr.
it.
Richmond's 22.
22.
But they have
excuse me.
plenty of
Road
maintained
frontage,
road frontage,
Yes.
okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if and when, I guess it's going to be a battle if this gets approved, which one gets sold first and gets developed first. They're going to get the only one available address we have, and then the other one,
Would
you
you
know.
like, changing someone's address can be a rather painful event for them. I'm just wondering if, with this, if we wouldn't want to go ahead and plan that out, and whether it be for January 1 of 2014 or something like that, and have that in place.
his changing to 24, I don't think he'd have a problem with from
Okay.
talking to him. And then allowing the new lot to become 22. The problem then is if Cooley's properties are sold, Mr. Richmond will be at 24. The people below the Cooley properties are currently at 26.
They'd have to become 26
28,
up-
30,
uphill
like-
from would
Yeah,
have
but
to-
it's not the Cooley, so it's a different party. So we could be affecting a third party here. Either way we go, we're affecting a third party. on
Yeah,
this.
Or more.
apparently other commissions, when they agreed to these lot splits, did not consider.
And I'm
the,
telling you, addressing can be very painful. That's why
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's a way that we couldn't.
As the lot 106 and 107, were they treated as rentals?
They're vacant
Sure, they're
properties.
just-
So, okay, there's no house on it.
Nothing
Okay.
there. And actually, they've been for sale for as long as I've been here. It's been 5
Yeah,
years.
okay.
Well, it could be something in 3 years. It could happen in a year. It could be 5 years out. Who
Could be
knows?
20.
Could be.
You could always take that Oak Street and rename it if you had to, even if it's a unimproved road.
But then that.
And then just have that parcel too, just have that single address on it. That would at least solve that part of it.
Right.
If you got to that point.
But okay, if I understand the Cooley properties, if those became,
I don't think we should, I mean, I guess the one suggestion would be is Oak Street becomes an address, it's gone, let's say, for example. That house, the house on, the current, only house right now on the Richmond property remains 22, and then you basically say, we don't allow Cooley to sell those properties. I mean, because they don't meet the bulk controls, the size of them.
Yeah, they did.
they do.
No, they're too narrow. I thought we
No.
looked at that.
No,
That's
they're-
the only reason I bring that up.
No, plus they're existing lots of record. So our code allows for an existing platted lot of record to be developed.
And
So-
we already have an Oak Street, so that therein lies the rub on Oak, which was the
Right.
suggestion
Oh, I
to
see. That
rename.
was the-
Yeah.
Well, that would clean that up anyway, wouldn't it, as far as a rename?
Maybe it's Oak Court.
Oak Alley. But in any instance, I mean,
Right. Okay. Well, then strike that. I apologize. I didn't realize that.
Is the woman who lives across the street who came here previously, she would be at 20,
She's at 20.
she's at 20.
and she wouldn't be affected by any change, right?
She is not affected by any change.
Okay. And she faces on Mulligan anyway.
Faces on Mulligan.
So if you did have a street change, a name change, it wouldn't affect her?
Well, that's where we were at before. Technically, yes, but we don't have to do that. We can leave her a Mulligan Street address. If we were to someday call that Street X,
Is that because of the back lots that she has?
because the
or-
driveway comes in off of the unimproved alley off of Oak Street. And that's how we typically address, is where the driveway comes off of.
But she fronts Mulligan.
But she fronts Mulligan. So that's why I say we can probably just,
Well, and that's. I mean, if you get to the east side where there aren't a bunch of driveways and it's an alley in the back, you're all still addressed by what you're fronting on. So
frontage,
it's-
right.
And you can go either way.
Right.
And I didn't mean to muddy this because I don't see why we couldn't approve this because there's a whole process when someone goes through
Right.
for an address assignment. So that's something we can
That's,
further
yeah.
discuss.
I mean, I think it's good points to bring up, but yeah, we don't want to confuse
Yeah.
what is being requested here with what our current problems are outside of this request. Sorry. Any other comments
Just
or
the comment,
questions?
and it's fairly strong by the city engineer that Oak Street is not going to be maintained.
Yeah, they haven't maintained it, I think, for probably well over 5 years. I think at some point they did, but it's been over 5 years, probably closer to 7.
If the city chose to rename it, is that something that would go through city council?
No.
I have the power, but I haven't been able to name anything yet. So.
Well, I guess, the only question I do have is, if it's Oak Street's not maintained, and it's not by the city, does it mean the owners of the properties adjacent it are responsible for the maintenance, or does it mean no one is responsible?
Just
for the
what you said. And there are conditions like that throughout town. Where
Okay.
we have platted right-of-ways, so people will have a driveway going into their garage
Right.
off of those platted right-of-ways, and basically that drive going back in becomes an extension of their driveway, and they maintain it.
So,
So-
I mean, is it there, so say if there's, a code officer is driving by and notices that that road's not being maintained, but it's sort of a gray area, right? It's not like they can be cited for not maintaining it because it's not necessary. If they want to maintain it, they can do it, and the city's not going to.
If the two property owners that have access off of that
Right.
drive decide, if this lot split is approved, then with the lady at 20, if they want to see Oak Street paved, for example, it
Right.
would be borne by them.
Right.
And how they split the cost, if one of them says, well, I use 25% of it to get to my driveway, I use the rest to get to mine, that'll be an agreement that can
Okay.
be worked out between property owners.
And
Right.
one can't do anything without the other's agreement.
If the one wants to pay for everything, probably
Right.
could, but.
Right.
But again, it's still right of way. There have been cases where people park on the right of way and then complain that the next door neighbor's parking on the right of way.
Right.
And as a result, then neither one's supposed to be parking the right of way.
Yeah, I would just want to make sure there was no undue hardship on 20, down the road with anything.
I don't foresee anything.
With the exception, she might feel that she owns Oak Street right now because nobody's using it.
Right.
I don't think, as far as I know, her cars are not parked on the moment.
Right.
We have both used the right-of-way in the past.
Right.
When she's had parties, they've parked there, and I said, well, fine, you can,
Yeah.
whatever you need to do, as long as you don't block me in. And we've had a pretty positive relationship, and I've threw salt down there in the wintertime when it was icy, but we've
Right.
never really had an issue with the maintenance of it.
All right. That's all. My only concern was whether it comes back
Okay,
to
well, eventually we'll have a addressing problem. Okay.
event. Be a dream come true, right? More tax dollars.
Is that
So-
what it is?
I guess the proposal would be the motion with the conditions.
Yeah,
for
I
the-
believe the conditions are spelled out pretty clearly that were brought up by city officials.
Is that a motion?
I would move that we approve this with the conditions listed by the city staff in terms that the garage would need to come down and that Oak Street is not maintained, won't be maintained.
And I would
And
str-
development ordinance, too.
right, and I think that John Paskey's comment that it has frontage on platted Oak Street but not maintained, I think should remain. But I think as far as the addressing, we should not include that with this.
Right,
Fine.
because that will go through a different process.
Okay.
Something I would like to note too that will have to be done is that currently what has been submitted to me, and I spoke to Mr. Richmond about it, does not have any of the stamps from the county engineer and/or the surveyor, and that'll be a requirement as well.
The new,
The actual official engineer stamp, that's on the front, that the registered surveyor stamps.
Okay.
And it may be because it was still preliminary and
Yes.
waiting to see if he had to change,
Right.
move it
That's
just a little
correct.
bit here or there.
Yeah, that word preliminary will have to come off.
Okay. All right, so with those modifications, is there a second? I'll second it. Any questions or comments? Anything further? Okay. All those in favor of accepting the lot split as defined by case number 1302, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay. It's unanimous by the members that were present. Thank you for
I want to thank the
working with
commission.
the
Thank you.
commission. I had asked, since Shara and Nancy were not going to be here, that we postpone the communications with the residential bulk control discussion until we have full members. I think it's when we're kind of thinking broad brush like that, I think it's useful to have everyone in attendance. So if there are other communications?
I've provided the members with the Central Ohio Planning and Zoning Workshop. Its deadline's May 10th. It is Friday, May 17th, and all day at COSI. And unfortunately, I have other obligations on that day, but if any of the planning members would like to go, if they could just contact the mayor's office and we'll get you registered.
Okay.
So,
Be interesting. Thank you. Anything else? Reports from City Planner and Director of Code Enforcement.
I can start.
Usually do, that's why I look at it.
I have two two things coming forward. We did finalize a date for the community open house for the updated FEMA flood maps. That will be, the community public open house will be on July 11th. That's a Thursday from 4 to 7 p.m. Once that open house is completed, then there will be a 90-day appeal period for communities if they're not satisfied with the flood mapping. If anybody would like to see maps beforehand or review them before that July 11th meeting, you're welcome to tell them to contact me. We also have them on the, it's a county-wide mapping, so we do have it on the county's GIS website too. But people can come in and review them as they would like to.
Is it, so you added a layer to the GIS, like a preliminary?
Ben Abfell, the county GIS
Okay.
coordinator, did. Yeah, I have not had time yet to put them on the city's website,
Okay,
but we will be putting them up. I wanted to make sure that they had that date scheduled, because until they have that date scheduled, it's not even officially preliminary maps, and I didn't want to put something out there and then
Right.
they send us new updated digitals afterwards. So we just fine-tuned that date this week
Community center?
at the community center. Yes, thank you.
And
Yeah.
the representatives from FEMA, ODNR, or?
FEMA, ODNR, city, county, Nelsonville, the impacted communities, the engineering firm out of Chicago, Michael Baker, they'll be present as well to discuss what they did. It is an open house. You don't have to be there for 3 hours. You can just come and look and talk and mingle for a little bit with them and learn about the process and et cetera. So.
The basic thrust of it, if I understand, is that really the floodplain has not changed that much. The floodway, both of them changed a little bit, but
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
significant.
The base flood elevations through the city of Athens are rising slightly, about a half a foot seems to be the average. There are portions of the city where the floodway is widening. Most of that is through the Ohio University campus. There are portions of the city where the floodway is narrowing as well. The Columbus Road area, it narrows a little bit, and some portions of East State Street where there was significant fill work done in the past.
And the former Clomars are now Lomars because of this study.
Most of them, yes, yeah.
And that's the reason why I'm just bringing it up, so if somebody out there watches a repeat of this, they
Yeah.
know that they should get involved.
Yeah.
And everything we hear right now is that the FEMA rates are going to go up in general. Insurance rates will.
Oh, yeah.
elevate.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be going up.
So it pays to find out what's going on.
Yeah, and they're eliminating some of their grandfather status as well. Yeah. So they did have a lot of subsidized flood insurance rates for a lot of homes in the flood nationwide. They're slowly eliminating those subsidies over like a 5-year period. Like they're going to add 20% per year to the flood insurance premium until they get, after 5 years, you'll be at rate. So
And that
average.
was that done if you originally weren't in the floodplain and then were, so it was partially subsidized once you were at it? Is that-
That's one of the situations.
Okay.
The other one would be, you might see rates going up if you were grandfathered in as a pre-firm structure. A home that was built 50 or 60 years ago
Right.
that's below the base flood elevation, you might see those rates going up higher. They wouldn't be excessive if you look even in Athens, on the Near East Side where we've got a lot of homes that are grandfathered in. Even though they're grandfathered in and they don't meet all of the standards, even back in the 1920s and 30s because of flooding events, they knew it was a floodplain, and so a lot of them do already have a step up. You know, the front porch is
Right.
5 or 6 steps up, so they were already elevating. They just didn't have it down to the engineering science that they
Right.
have it today, of course. So a lot of those do have a ground. The main floor where the kitchen and living room and dining room is, a lot of those homes are already, that floor is up above the base flood elevation.
Okay.
The problem with them is they have a full basement
Right.
usually, even if it's not finished as far as having a rec room or an
Right.
office in it. It still has the mechanicals and the washroom and those things are in the basement, so. But so a lot of them, it's not like they're, your ground or your main floor is typically not 3 feet below the base flood elevation, in my experience.
Right.
So, the other announcement I had on Thursday, May 30th in the evening, we're not sure of time yet. I'm working with a faculty member in Ohio State's planning department. His name is Kyle Ezel. He has come forward to me in the last couple weeks. He wants to try a new planning project for the city of Athens. We're going to have a kickoff meeting on May 30th. What his goal from the project is, and what he would like to do, is through a very public community engagement process, is to identify the common themes of what people who live and work and hang out in Athens, what makes the city of Athens a unique place. Not what are the things we like about Athens, but what do we think inherently makes Athens unique and different from Oxford or Columbus or Pittsburgh or New York City or Tokyo or Logan, Ohio or Lancaster, Ohio or Kent, Ohio. What makes Athens Athens? Once we get through this public engagement, we're not sure exactly how we're going to assemble everything over the summer, but the goal would be to identify those common threads of what the community thinks makes Athens a unique place, and then find ways to reinforce that uniqueness through a series of recommendations for things we might be able to do in our built environment. That might be right-of-way improvements, things that the city may have control over, whether it be through signage, through ornamentations, through public art, through you name it, major infrastructure projects. So ways that we can reinforce that uniqueness so that we're making sure that we're retaining that feeling as we move into the future.
Right.
So that'll be starting on May 30th. I would please encourage the planning commission members to come and get involved as much as you want. If anybody on the planning commission has freehand drawing skills, we would love somebody to volunteer that. I'm trying to work with the university right now and identify possibly a student who might need some internship credits to participate on that. We plan to get this done over the summer and have a finished product by early fall. So, as part of that, actually, I just learned this week, Kyle Ezel, the faculty member at Ohio State, there's also their city and regional planning program has a visual communications program now, or communications class within city and regional planning. And they have a summer class on that where that class is going to document this event through video.
Okay.
So they're going to be coming and documenting this whole process over the summer for us. So pretty neat process. It's
Oh,
gonna
that
be
sounds
fun.
great. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
So the next steps after that would be, okay, you're talking about May? what was it,
May 30th, yeah,
time,
that's a
that
Thursday.
evening.
Yeah.
That's the first step of the kickoff, and then subsequent summertime.
Yeah, and what we're going to be doing, I believe, is giving people homework. People, and you don't have to come to the meeting to participate, but that'll be where we get everything started, of course. Homework being, what are the things that Mayor Weil, you document what you specifically think is unique about Athens through a list of what you think they are or specific images. I would do the same. Everybody in this room might do the same. You might go out and take your own pictures, post them onto a Facebook page or an Instagram, or email them to us, and we'll put it all together. And then at some point, we'll have so much documentation of what everybody thinks makes Athens a unique place that a handful of common threads that should emerge from that. And then we'll start putting together recommendations for how to reinforce that uniqueness for us, so that when we describe Athens, or why do you want to live in a place like Athens, or what makes Athens special, you're probably already thinking of things that you
Right.
would have in your mind as to what that means to you. But then also, for the visitors that come to Athens, so they see things in Athens that they've never seen anywhere else. And what are the things that the tourists will come to town and want to have their picture taken in front of? If you think about it like that, then when they leave Athens, they'll start, oh, we had a great weekend in Athens. There's all these unique things in Athens that we never see anywhere else, and that's a reason why people might want to come and visit Athens as well. It's also a reason why people might want to do business in Athens, relocate a business here, spend more money and time on their weekends here, et cetera. So,
Okay, sounds good.
yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Baskey?
Yep.
All I have is next Tuesday, I must be 14th, 2 Tuesdays, is that 2 Tuesdays, is the Board of Zoning Appeals. We have 2 cases set up for that evening. First one is at 97 South May. Many of you might recognize that house. It's an old Victorian style. I think it's even got a turret on it that the new property owners are requesting to renovate. Unfortunately, it is in the floodway, or floodplain, I'm sorry, floodplain.
yeah.
And it is greater than 50% of the value of the structure that they want to do to improve it. So they will need a variance from the Board of Zoning Appeals for flood hazard regulations.
So they have to go to and evaluate through Title 25.
Correct.
That's correct, okay.
That is correct.
What is title, I mean, so besides BZA, does then FEMA, I assume, have to chime in?
They do not. The process, the flood regulations, variances are allowed to be awarded at the local level.
Okay.
There's a strict process with how it's supposed to be awarded. The guidelines are clear. There's about 13 steps. I think a normal variance has 7 steps or 6 steps in
6.
order to get a review that you're supposed to ask yes or no to, and then ultimately find out whether
Right.
it should or should not be awarded. The flood, you go through a lot more steps. It's consistent. All the communities
Right.
allow for this process. FEMA and ODNR established that if a variance is awarded and it went through the steps, then it can be granted. Flood risk and flood insurance will adjust accordingly. But it's a way to, in extreme or unusual circumstances to,
Provide a variance if possible.
thank you, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Thank you, Sergeant.
And the other case is at 122 Maplewood Drive. That is a request to build a garage on the parcel. It's a strange lot. It's a corner lot and has an alley or another street on the side. So that will need variances for setbacks and lot coverage on putting the garage on the parcel.
So it'd be above the 60%,
Correct.
and then what's
So
the,
above the
30%
30%, 30%.
So that's the
on-
building versus the impermeable.
Correct.
Okay.
right? And then it's just with it. Is it because of it being a corner? Probably
Because of corner lot, the
right.
side yard setback is required to be 12.5 feet,
Right.
or the established setback of the
Right.
houses along that line. And in this instance, if they pulled it back, then the back of the garage will be too close to this side.
Right.
But so they've pulled it forward closer to the street, and therefore they're into basically what would be the front setback on that side street. So
Right.
it's a tight lot for them.
All right.
Also, I'd like to note that in the upcoming future here, I have received phone calls probably for communications at the next meeting or next 2 meetings. We will be bringing information forward on Mr. Bortles presenting his hotel on East State Street. That's the property back behind McDonald's, and back where Co-Ed next to it. Is where they're looking to do a new hotel. And he's come in with he's coming in, I haven't seen it yet, with a new plan that supposedly does not require any variances like he requested once before.
Okay.
So, Director Stone required him to do a engineering traffic study that he has done, but I have not seen the results. So, he was out of town this week, indicated he'll bring it to me next week, and probably like to be on the agenda for an open communication in 2 weeks. Likewise, with Mr. Valentor has informed me through RVC Architects that Harold Laughlin's project on where the HDL Center is on West Union, they'll likely be coming in for an open communication on buildings for new buildings at that location as well within the next few weeks. So two rather large projects that will be Title 41s for both of them that we will start reviewing preliminarily here in the next month, I would say.
Okay.
So, and then we're just continuing with move out. Cross fingers.
You didn't want to mention the stormwater and the notice to the contractors?
Yes, thank you. Beginning June 1st, the Stormwater Protection Plan Team we're revising, or I wouldn't even say revising, probably stressing a little bit more our land development ordinance. And beginning June 1st, we've sent out the letters to the contractors, our registered contractors, that beginning June 1st, we are basically instituting a call before you dig process on every project. That if you move dirt, we're going to verify your soil erosion control methods, your insurance methods to prevent soils and erosion to come out onto the streets, and your stormwater plan long-term on the project. As well, while we're doing that, and we're working in conjunction with the Athens Soil Water Conservation District, and while we're doing that, with one of their officers going out, one of our code officers will be out there as well to review and learn those processes. But we're also going to basically require that a project is staked out before you dig, so that we could try the best we can to verify that the setbacks are what is proposed on drawings, and we will do continual inspections during the course of construction to make sure that you maintain the soil erosion control methods, and basically we'll be looking for a final that we will then verify that you have the proper number of parking spaces, the proper drainage, and the proper setbacks, which obviously would have been done in the beginning,
Right.
and shade tree requirements. So kind of up the ante a little bit on
Very good.
as to how we're doing that. So, and that we will initiate that and start that when it's the 1st of June, and the letters have been out, which coincides with the same time the contractors, their
Renewal.
renewal, correct, is June 1. So kind of goes hand in hand with it.
Okay. Any questions, Mr. Paskey or for Mr. Loeb? All right, well, thank you both again for those reports.